1. Let's get started.
All right, well, decided to go to La Jolla Shores again. We were going to do the cove, but the surf was pretty big at the cove, so we aborted the cove and went to the shores. It's Brian and I at the shores, and you can see here the shores was really calm. And for some weird reason, today all the sheephead crab were out. There probably was at least a dozen sheephead crab swimming. So this sheephead is sitting in the sand dollar patch. We're in about 20 feet of water, and it was just kind of chilling. As soon as we came up to it, it was like, I'm not going to move. I'm going to let these guys just continue on. Not only were there a lot of sheephead crab, but there were also a lot of rockfish. And here was a good sized adult rockfish hanging out with a calico fish, just chilling. And here we have a sculpin, I believe is protecting her eggs. You can see the eggs floating around on the right side of her. So we chose to dive down to 100 feet, and I'm not going to kid you, the red tide is back again. I know this time of year red tide is expected, but we've had red tide for, pretty much all winter. We had a little break a couple weeks ago, and now red tide is back, and the viz is not the greatest. Here we are at around 100 feet in the canyon, and I would say Brian there was probably 5 feet away. I'm using the Garmin MK3. I'm not 100% sold on it. I still like my Shearwater computers way better, but here again you can see camouflaged. Here's another sheephead. This one looked kind of cool because it looked like it has a little wig that he's wearing, or she, I'm not sure, he or she, but on that same wall here's another sheephead just kind of cruising, and then a couple feet away to the right of this one was another one. I don't know if this was love or if they're just kind of chilling. I think it may have been love. As we reached our turning point, we came across another sheephead crab just kind of going into the canyon. As we were ascending, it decided it was going to descend. Have a good dive, little buddy. And it's funny, as you know, sea anemones are my favorite things to film, and I came close to Brian and he kind of smoked out this sea anemone. Poor little guy. But I'm sure the sea anemone is pretty used to being sanded out by divers. So we're at around 60 feet now, and the usual rock crab or red crab were hanging out. So here's one, and then just a few feet away, here's another, and they're just kind of taking refuge in the kelp here. This one's hiding. And I believe there's another one right here. All these rock crab or red crab. And so this sculpin looked like it wrapped all the seaweed around it, so it was like wearing the seaweed like a blanket. Pretty insidious it looks, but cool little guy. Another calico chilling. And another calico chilling. This was actually a really good dive for marine life. Definitely want to go into the cove and dive the kelp forest where there's a plethora of marine life. So on our way back, again, here we are in about 25 feet of water, and there were thousands and thousands of sand dollars. It's really nice to see the sand dollar little community thriving here. But as you can see in the water, there's a lot of particulates. So red tide is back. It's not too bad. It's definitely diveable, but hopefully it doesn't get any worse. So I came upon this jellyfish in about 6 feet of water. Kind of cool looking. I don't know if it was dying or not. It didn't look like it had a lot of tentacles, but I was definitely not going to flip it over to find out. In the shallows, definitely cleared up. Water temperature was only 56, which is fairly common. Last couple of weeks it was in the low 50s. There's Mr. Brian. Take care, bud. Good diving with you. And we wrapped up our dive. I hope to see you down below.